Hey, what's up, guys? Little man with a big opinion here. So, today's video gonna be short, sweet, and to the point. Yeah, that bucket should work. I am watering my pear tree that I just recently got, and kind of explaining something to y'all. See if I can open this with one hand. So, I'm not just watering the pear tree. I watered the lemon and lime tree. Um, the lemon tree survived the winter. At least it's got, one stalk that's got leaves coming in on it. Not too sure about the lime tree just yet. At least where I'm at, uh, discussing with some of the older folks that live around here, they highly suggest getting more mature trees. It's going to cost you, more money in the beginning, but just to make sure your trees get a nice establishment and are kind of old enough to handle the winters, which our winters aren't even that miserable. It's just as young as I got those trees and kind of as late as I got them planted, uh, there was a very low chance for survival unless I was able to get a decent amount of funds put into, uh, getting them wrapped up and basically kept in a greenhouse style environment. I guess I could show this one off. So I'm a fairly short person at 5'3". I'd say there's about 2 foot of tree on top of this, so it's about a 7-foot pear tree. I was told it's about a year and a half to 2 years old, and they grow relatively quickly, because I was also told that this pear tree that I got should be about 20 or 30 foot tall, and its branches should spread out about 20 or 30 feet. I've always wanted a pear tree because I had a really old neighbor. When I used to walk to my high school, and it was about a mile walk, and this lady had a pear tree that she would let the students, or kids, whatever you want to call it, who walked to school, if they wanted to grab a pear during season, they could. And so it went like that for several years until she passed away. Someone else moved into it, and they, didn't want anyone coming onto their property. And for the most part, they would maybe eat a couple of them, if that. But the tree didn't do too hot after that, because all of them would just fall off and, rot and just make it super nasty. But this specific pear tree that I got takes anywhere from 3 to 10 years to start producing fruit. The lemon tree, I think, is set back a bit because of the freeze. But I still think it should, come back, and I'm guessing another 3 to 5 years on the lemon tree. And if the lime tree doesn't survive, then I got to get a new one of those. And that's probably going to be 3 to 5 years on that. We plan on getting one more pear tree just to help with the cross pollinating. And then down the house, we're going to plant several trees. But, before they start producing anything is going to be quite a bit of time. And to get trees that are producing now, I mean, you're spending big bucks. That 7-foot tree that I got was about $40. Uh, and I think it has a relatively high margin of success. Uh, I'm actually gonna go replant this grape that I got and see how this guy does. Uh, I picked it up almost 2 months ago when we still had a lot of freezes. But hopefully this should produce fruit this year. And I feel pretty good about this one because it did come with a little bit of green hanging off of it. So I'm not entirely sure how this guy is going to work out, but I think it should do relatively okay. All right, kind of got to figure out where I want to plant it. But the point of this video, I don't want to divulge too much, is all of these different methods that I'm talking about that are, self-sufficient and, getting you on the right track. They don't happen overnight. If you buy livestock, then, you have to feed and take care of them for so long. If you get chickens, it takes anywhere from, 2 to 6 months. The average is about 18 weeks before they start producing eggs. I guess I could have got my tripod out for this. But it can take a while for these things to, start becoming a net positive for you. And you don't want to be caught up in that SHTF situation. And, you've got your things in place, but you're also, worried about surviving. And, your cow is looking pretty yummy even before it's had offspring. Your chickens aren't producing eggs yet, but they're made out of meat. So these are the kind of things you got to think about before you just have SHTF happen. Oh, it's got a nice root system. I'll get this planted and we'll finish this conversation. So, the things that I've done, that I've putting in place, I really didn't have much opportunity to do this in the past because I've always rented or lived on my college campus. But if you have the ability to do the things that I'm doing, then I strongly suggest that you do these things. Prepping videos have kind of blown up in recent days, mostly because, there are more and more things happening that, are indicators of crap hitting the fan. And so probably be, in terms of food production, be in a very similar state as to people that haven't done anything. Because all of my different, uh, you know, food producing or fruit producing trees and bushes and stuff aren't producing yet. But it's a very cheap investment, um, between time and funds that could mean the difference between your family eating and your family not eating. Uh, Chickens are still, on the table. We just got to get the funds available to do that. Uh, so, those are probably some of the quickest turnarounds at 18 weeks. Uh, the trees are going to take several years. Uh, and I don't really live in a position where I can do anything more than chickens. Maybe rabbits, but we're pretty limited space-wise here. And that could change as well, because, as an end goal for most preppers should be, you know, fully self-sustainable. But I'm going to go grab lunch, and I want you to think about what we discussed today. What are your plans, if any, this year to become more self-sustainable? Let me know in the comment section down below. You planting trees, you're growing a garden, you're adding livestock, uh, just whatever you're doing. And you know the drill. Like the video if you enjoy the content. Share the video with a friend or family member if you feel like they would benefit from our discussion. And lastly, today, subscribe to the channel and hit the little bell notification, because you never know when I'm going to release a video. And with that, catch you in the next one.